In today's video I want to actually show how I dress, for it has seldom been so accurate as per what I intend to dress as. Forget upper class British, for this is just impossible to get as accurate as that, but at least for a decade, and obviously Western European, or Western world, it could be American too, obviously. And in fact, American was, well, never mind that, but so I will actually show the items I have and explain why most of them are not originals, and even if most of them are second-hand, obviously, all second-hand and all vintage, are not as old, because it is nearly impossible. I have tears in my eyes, but really I cannot do more than I do, hunting for the garments of those that have died long ago. But unshakably it is just impossible, being my size, and people are much shorter, and most garments again have not survived. One has to understand simply that there was 1,900,000,000 humans on Earth in 1900. I want to dress like in the 1890s, so just to give an idea. Most of those humans would not have been Western, and then by far most Westerners were not wearing upper class items, or the country with the highest middle class, simply not even the upper middle class, was Britain, and they only had 10%, or like, was it 10%? They had, I think, 80% of working class, the lowest working class on earth, and still 80% of working classes, and 50. Never mind, and there's most items they would wear until it got decomposed, and then people just threw them around. The 2 world wars happened. Each person had much fewer items, and to use them until it literally just decomposed. And so it is much easier to find things from 1920, even I was in 1930 for Britain and Europe, because they've really begun being mass production. Now, two sides to mass production. They began mass production by hand, in fact, in the 1830s, at least in the undergarments. But mass production using machines began in the 1840s, the United States. Not that it was only for accessories back then. It began in Europe, at least in Britain, in the 1850s. But most suits being, in a way, mass-produced to some extent, was at least in Europe, not before the 1920s and all, so, which explains. So today I only have 3 ensembles. So this is my this is my wardrobe, in a sense. Everything I can wear, everything that still fits, have not grown out of, and which is in a condition that is wearable. So these are all the sleeping garments. This 1890 shirt I showed before actually broke not long after starting it and all, so it broke here. And even this 1890s kilt now is too small. It's my only original kilt that fitted. I have another one, an original one which is French, but most likely it dates from just before 1905, so technically not 1890, this is it. So I have basically a morning ensemble, a normal ensemble, and then an evening ensemble I've not quite finished building. And so I'm always wearing the same clothes, and obviously in view of Queen Elizabeth's death, and also I liked her, but considering myself British and Victorian, it is when Queen Victoria died, it was correct for gentlemen, theoretically, they were meant to go into mourning for more than it was declared by the government, that as a sign of civil duty they should go, none of it was imposed, but they should go into mourning for more than a year, which is what I have been doing since October. But my navy trousers, which I was wearing in the other videos, these are just broken down now, and the fabric is not repellable. So, and my other black ones are for the evening, and too warm, so I've got these, I will go step by step. So I'm wearing a modern shirt, undershirt that I still want to wear. I have a few modern undershirts, and these are my pajama trousers. And I have that shirt. So that shirt is not an original. It dates from about, my dating is probably 1917 to 1925, 23 max. This is very an evening shirt. I wear it as a morning shirt. And this is one of the detachable colors that I opened up. Only 2 fit, in fact. And I restarted using Highland White's exact chemist method, which works splendidly. And just recently I wore it so much because in the starch I had starched heavily, but I rewashed it and I tried another starching technique that didn't already work. So, I mean, it did work, but I should have added more starch. It is quite lumpy, but at least it is clean. The collar has not been restarched now since almost 3 weeks. It is very dirty, but I switched it around. And now I opened the top. Normally it would be, when I initially landed it, I ironed it as a finger, as a turned-on collar, but really, I just realized I could wear it as a stand-up collar really by Jeffel. I cannot find the collars that high. They were meant to be that high, so I just flipped out one of mine. I just realized that 2 days ago. That's what I've been doing. And eventually in 2 weeks' time I will launder it again. Let's see, even laundering it once, it broke there. But they're very fragile, and these were hard to find because these are probably original. So flip there, the studs. From the 1890s set, I mixed and matched some because I lost one also. I took some of these studs. I have to purchase all the old studs. The studs are the easiest things to find original. And then I have these. I purchased in China. They probably were not really existing back then, and if they did, to for avant-garde people. And then I made of modern elastics. There was no way I was going to find that as an original or vintage, even I tried what I could. And I made it to pull down the shed so it would not ride up. So now, obviously, since the shed is relatively long, not as long as most French sheds from back then, but back then, since this is from the late 10s, they were beginning, especially evening ones, to be shorter. But so what happens is, because I only wash it, well, I said every month, it gets too disgusting, so I only wash it every 2 weeks when it is white. But still, this part would touch the growing area. And for obvious reasons, especially at the back, for example, if I go to the toilet for, to defecate, I don't want the stand there, I found the day before I wash again the excrement stain, because that would be disgusting. So I wear, to protect the trousers in me, I wear these under trousers, but then this really touches the ground area, especially with these. So what I do is I put it on, and then I sort of flip it up a bit, and eventually it stays like that. It does not really, but I just hope it does. So at least it does for a few hours, so it does not actually cover the groin area. And then I will wear that. It's extremely difficult to film oneself whilst I'm dressing up. I'll just put it there in front of the mirror. No, it will not really work. Oh, damn it! Hopefully it films something. So obviously, I can actually take it down. So what I do, now I'm literally naked below that, but I know you can't see anything, thank heavens. So I just have my undershirt on, and my shirt. So the way I do it is that I clip these first, and I have to wear these rather than the shed soft braces because my under trousers are very long and tight, so they cannot pass below. I explained that on Instagram. They cannot pass through the trouser leg and then onto the socks, especially since the socks have to wear over the under trousers here and be held with the sock suspenders. So then I button the collar. I always button the collar first, but then I can pull from there. So the collar is very tight. The next ones I purchase when these are dead, I purchase larger. Because especially through laundering and boiling it to get rid of the old starch and restarching it will shrink. So get something not half an inch longer. And get a shed, especially if you want to starch your shed. Get an inch longer or half an inch longer, longer than your actual neck size, and then another inch larger, and then not longer, for the collar. And there's a little tie loop there, and I pass the tie through there so it will not ride up. This is it used to be with an elastic and it got repaired with that. I was wearing it in the other videos. So I try not to put my arms too much, otherwise it would show my personal parts.